All right. Now can we invite Dr. Harshwardhan from Save Mansagar campaign to please come up and share his views with us?
Next. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Very nice, respected Dr. Joshi is here. And I'm heartened to have a gentleman from Bombay, Ayaz Bhai, and Heather from New York Times. Of course, probably the first blogger in the world, blackboard blogger, Om Saini is also here. I've been given 5 minutes. We'll try to do justice with that. And I'm taking you free of cost on a jaunt to Mansagar of Jaipur, which is about 400-year-old, contemporary of Emperor Akbar, made by the brother-in-law of Emperor Akbar, Rajaman, who became brother-in-law to Emperor Akbar. And he was responsible for having let the Rajput blood flow into the veins of the Mughal dynasty. Jahangir came as a son to Jodhabai. Thank you very much for this Mansagar blog people. They have hired me. I don't know whether they'll pay me for this job or not. Anyway, I'm having a nice time with you. This is the gentleman who created the blogs. And if I don't speak about it to the youngsters, probably I'll be indulging into calumny. He is only 28-year-old. When he was living in dormitory, as some of you might be, I didn't. My father kept me in a separate room in a hostel. He's done it from Harvard, East Coast, now to the West Coast in California region. Now the question you will ask, why I'm trying to bother you to take you into the Mansagar issues, loud and clear. It was, not is, but I still use as pristine because most water bodies are. Rajsamand has some, Mauli nearby has some, Nathdwara has some, Udaipur is known, and then Hyderabad and Tankband Road, so on and so forth. About 90 lakes that I have visited in this country, could be double of the number outside. Most of the country's lakes are not in good health. Because it became a cesspool of sewage because of the city of Jaipur, and of course because of the government of Rajasthan. It continues to be thanks to because of the government of Rajasthan. Decades of neglect, yes, 400-year-old, but in 60s when Urban Improvement Trust was set up, they looked after development within inverted commas, italicized and underlined. They never looked after into the sewage treatment. JDA has come out with a policy document of Jaipur 2025. They'll have 10 more sewage treatment plants, but they do not know where the water will go. Water will go into Bandi and Sukdi. Finally, through this, that it will go to Bay of Bengal through the Ganges. That's your planning right now. PPP mode came up after faltering it for 15 years, thanks to the central government who brought in 92-93 some deregulation and privatization. Rajasthan government also opened its eyes and said, let's have PPP module. But what happened after that? It was sued by some of us, because we have democracy, we can do anything that we like. There are two things explicitly included. One was the monument, second was the land, but the lake wasn't included. That again speaks about the sagacity of the PPP mode and the government's intentions. Lake was not included. Even today, it's not included for revitalization. Neglect continues, and that's why we are here to work on this issue. This gentleman, who was the chief minister at that time, and he has the opposition party leader who became member of parliament also, and another on the right side is another minister. They set up a desilting program, and I treat it, I am not a beloved of the government, unfortunately, I treat it, this is one of the best exercises ever exercised in the annals of India to desilt a lake, to try and restore a lake. What was the condition of the lake? The photograph shows you fairly well. That was the situation until 2004 and 5. We call it as Citizens Initiative because way back 1993 when I had a visit to the British Birdwatching Fair at Anglian Water, we saw people joining a fair, and I thought, oh, can we do it at Mansagar? And my colleague said in small wildlife society, which was set up with my friend Raj Singh Dungarpur and others, yes, we can. We tried. We knocked at the gate of municipal corporation, JD, so tush, poof. We had no time. We got no time on Mansagar. Get out. Oh, doesn't matter. We have to live. We have been taught things by Jawaharlal Nehru and Gandhiji. They were sent by their parents to become barristers. They came back in kurta dhoti and all that. Continued. Something had to happen. Bird watching fair started. And one photo shows you on the left side, Raman Atre, who came at the bird watching fair and said, we'll do something. And Raman is a gentleman in whose name a new bird species was spotted in Arunachal Pradesh North area, Eagle Nest Sanctuary, Bugan Leo Sichla. You people had it, most of the students joined it. On the right is another photograph that shows the third best bird watcher of the world, Peter Kastner. He was in US ministry as a diplomat, probably the lady sitting here who might be knowing him better. He's now posted in Washington, D.C. in one of the diplomacy course. And the gentlemen sitting here are Samar Singh from Dungarpur and R. Kothari and so on and so forth. It's an example of citizens' initiative. Anybody coming from New Delhi or Dungarpur or Banswara or Ratlam, etc. can join, and they are joining it. And that's probably is that social network probably you are trying to coin on this issue. The role of the press, that's probably your main point today. Rajasthan Patrika carried front page item when this bird watching fair was inaugurated. It is here, and it said that this desh ka pehla, this and that and that and that. Bhaskar said similar things, but it came out with little bit of truth, that there's lot of foul smell. There's a lot of dirt, lot of sewerage around that, and it questioned all of us. Why are you having it at such a place? And our answer was, all our colleagues said, well, that's the success, because you are here. You will tell the decision makers, and many of the students' fathers and mothers are decision makers, things will happen and they get multiplied. There was no Twitter then. There was no Facebook then, 90s, late 90s, but started things happening. And that's the press's support. If press had not supported, probably these events would not have been where they were. Again, Patrika acknowledged it, that आए तो थे पक्षी देखने, लेकिन दुर्गंध बड़ी परेशान कर रही थी. I said, thank you very much. Many of the teachers blamed us, many of the parents phoned us in the evening, you are spoiling our sons and daughters. I said, thank you very much. That's the objective. That's why we want to convey, that's how things will happen. English papers also wrote it. This is an angelic person called Sunny Sebastian. He always does a good thing. I don't know whether it is good for you, good for me, but generally they think he does a good job. Minister Saab would know him better than me. So also Hindustan Times wrote about that. But then my question again is, you write, I write, we enjoy and we come out. Lake has its own life. Lake has its own sensitivity, and that is called the ecosystem of the lake. It constitutes of birds, water, fish, aquatic vegetation, microorganisms, zooplanktons, phytoplanktons, so on and so forth. Why birds come? Because you have security. Why birds come? Because you have got feed given to them. You don't give them feed, but you at least reserve it for them. There are two varieties. One are the carnivorous who eat fish. Second one are herbivorous, but most of them are both. And 99% of them are carnivorous because they take even the smallest of the molecules, microorganisms, phytoplanktons, zooplanktons, and all that. On the left is the black-capped night heron. Nearly 80 of them have bred this year, this season, this monsoon season. That shows the improvement in the habitat quality of this lake. And it's a native bird. It's crepuscular. It feeds in morning and late evening hours, and it's a nocturnal. In between, there is a Bademia. He's been hired. How many thousand persons are getting revenue out of a small project that has been run? On the right is the photo. On the left of the right is purple heron. We never saw this bird here. It frequents intensely intricate aquatic regimes like Kaladev National Park. Its arrival this year shows Well, the habitat has improved, more birds, more variety of birds have started coming. Below left, the fish. Crores of fish here, but not worth consuming, not worth being gulped by the birds. That shows something wrong with the ecology. And center, I'm not showing Jal Mahal, I'm showing you the range of aquatic vegetation. 250 truckloads were brought for us from Bharatpur and reintroduced into it because they constitute the feed for birds. Again, on the right is pond heron, which is breeding here. Now there is a tussle. You have fish, but birds cannot consume it, they cannot gulp it. Here is a great egret on the left. It caught hold of a fish, tried to gulp it, could not. Center photo shows it kicked it off, and then it had a dog fight with a cormorant. Both wanted to have the same fish taken away. You see the kind of dog fight that your Air Force pilot do it across the border is happening at your own lake here. What next? Everybody would ask, what next? And that is the optimism. I'm not pessimist. If I was, probably we would not have been at this stage and we all would not have been here. But then what to do? You have a PPP mode. PPP mode was not meant for lake. There probably folly was entered into the lake, but then it is Pyrrhic victory. They did it, they did for a good job, and now they are being given a stick for that job. Right? Citizens are coming forward. Oh, they are. They are enjoying every day 5,000–7,000 persons. They say we're going to Chowpatty. Last evening I happened to be there. It was problem to get through that crowd. They are enjoying. They are enjoying. Any lake resuscitated is worth manna, is worth a paradise for people. Sewage still flows. It will continue to flow because 2 sewage treatment plants, one done by Municipal Corporation and another by JD, doesn't function. They know it doesn't function, but they don't want to do anything. That's government. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Minister. I'm not trying to accuse government. I'm only trying to portray the reality. When we reached with some students, we had done a workshop on this lake 3 years ago at SMS school. When we reached, they switched it on. Oh, some people have come to, well, that's the life. Fish, destitute lake, and much more. Indians probably would think about it after 2–3 years. That's our mentality. When somebody else says in Britain or America, we start acting. So we're getting some response from my friends who are at the British Bird Watching Fair, who are at BirdLife International, or who are at Royal Society for Protection of Birds. And 3 days ago, Robert Oats wrote this email. And he says this PPP mode probably is one such exercise across the length and breadth of India that it can be a good lesson to other wetlands. And he is who? He is the Executive Director of Thames River Restoration Trust. Last 10 years he had been here twice, and he knows better probably than most of us what should we do. Well, print media has taken a stand that probably is unacceptable. Those very newspapers who were saying good, 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 now say, oh, Mansagar, oh, Mansagar, oh, no, 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 no. You know the meaning of what they say. Well, electronic media is in mood. It's in mood means we will, I don't know. Social networking? Well, just the gentleman asked me, can you come and do this? I said, certainly. I'm not born in the city of Jaipur, but I've got my post-graduation here at the university. I've got so much, and I should give it back to you. And then the blogging, if you want to do the blogging, that's the lone way, and probably that's the only way. And I've shared a few photographs. Thank you, Lokesh, for giving me. The rest of them were done by my own Nikon 300 lens. Thank you very much. And if I have annoyed some of you, please forgive me. And don't forgive me because I have every reason to speak. Thank you.